So what do you have under formal sciences?
Okay. Under formal sciences, I have mathematics, which comprises of geometry, algebra, trigonometry, and arithmetic, logic, theoretical
Okay.
physics, and statistics. So,
Are you
formal
reading from your
sciences.
material?
Hello?
Are you reading from your course material?
No, I'm reading from the notes the facilitator gave us.
Okay, facilitator gave you guys notes.
Yes, she always displays a slide when she's teaching, so I always screenshot and make my notes later.
That's the from the material. That's actually not a note. That's typically from the material. But it's okay. I'm going to excuse you because you said you have not even gone through the classes on YouTube. At least it's something we can work with for tonight. Okay. So now, under formal science, do you have anything that says formal science have a formal and deductive character?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. So what do you understand by that?
Okay. Formal sciences involve those sciences that we have to conclude on because they involve arguments, procedures, and there are laws to be obeyed before we can arrive at any conclusion that is authentic or valid.
Okay, thank you for the input though. But I said formal and deductive. Those are the words that I actually needed you to throw more light into. You said enough actually. So it's not just you in the class. Let's call other persons too. Miss Esther, can you hear us? Miss Esther, are you there?
I'm listening. Can you hear you?
This is a discussion class. You are meant to also say something. So when we say science is formal, what do you understand by that, ma'am? Just your input is welcome. Are you there? Miss Esther, are you there? Okay, maybe she's having trouble with her network. So Miss Faith, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Now, when we say science is formal in nature, in character, all right, we are simply referring to there's a part of science that says that you must observe all that there is there to observe. When we say something is formal, that means that thing follows a structure. You can't just come from nowhere, make conclusions or make inputs without observing the structures on ground. So when we say science is formal, it means that when you are being scientific or you are carrying out science as an act, there are certain structures that must be observed. The deductive part of it is that science is a logical process. Logical in the sense that when we have 2 eggs in a basket, then add 1 extra egg to that same basket, then we should be having a 3 of total eggs in the basket. It is only logical that when you have 2 eggs and add 1 egg into a basket, you should be having a total of 3 eggs in a basket. It follows a logical process in the sense that every of your steps, everything you do is verifiable, and it is factual. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Very well. So science is said to be the formal if its contents argue and procedures obey certain rules. So when I say structure, what makes a structure are the guiding principle, the rules that you must observe. And if you observe this rule, and you wonder why we have formulas when it comes to solving certain mathematical problems. You wonder why we have formulas, you know why we have theories that you can apply to certain situations. Because science will make you understand that if you want to achieve these results, then this is the route you must follow. So, what do you have on empirical sciences?
All right. So, empirical sciences study objects and phenomena which can be observed through any of the senses and which can be tested with instruments such as telescope, microscope, ruler, tapes, and scales.
Wonderful. I want you to underline the word tested. When you say empirical, this is pure objectivity. If you say you did a research and this is how you arrived at your research, you should be able to provide proofs. Are we together? Now, when I say
Yes,
objectivity, I'm trying to look for a very typical example I can use. Okay, now, a typical example to you having a seed of corn about 3 to 4 days old in a can filled with soil. A typical illustration to that is that there was a time there was a can without a seed. All right. So you got the seed, you got the can, you got the soil, then you planted in the seed. I mean, can you follow the logical process? You got the soil, you got the can, you got the seed, then planted in the seed into the soil, and after some time, it's germinated. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that only proves that everything you have done from the day one to as whole as the seed in the soil that has germinated can be is only objective, is only empirical, because every of these things, as you have gotten to that particular point you have gotten to, you have everything done and recorded and proving that this is the process you follow. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that takes us to the scientific method. Okay, you talked about scientific method already, whereby we have observation, right? Haven't you?
Yes, sir.
You talked
I
about
have.
scientific method already.
Yes,
All
scientific
right.
methods.
So, yes. So under observation, we have the direct and indirect observation, right? Do you have anything there?
No, just listed. There's no explanation on those ones.
Okay. So under the observation, okay, what do you have under observation? Okay, it was just listed, it was not explained.
Yes, it was just listed.
Now, from your own point of view, if you are conducting a scientific research or you are carrying out a scientific query, and you're talking about observation as the first thing to do, what do you understand by the word observation itself? Just before you say, let me even is Miss Esther, Miss Esther, are you with us now? Miss Ruth, good evening. You can unmute your mic, please.
I can't explain it.
Good evening, Tutayo.
I don't know why Miss Esther microphone is this terrible. I can hear Miss Faith loud and clear. This is Miss Ruth who just joined us. But Miss Esther, I cannot even hear you. Like, I can't even hear you at all.
So I
Please, you
don't
need to
hear you.
work on that too. If not, I'll not allow you to join the next Telegram class. Telegram class is for discussion. You must talk. You must make an input. Good evening, Miss Ruth. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Are you taking this course?
Is it GST105? Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes,
You
yes,
don't
sir.
register the course back then?
Yeah, it's one of my carryover.
Okay, because I'm wondering, you've passed this level for this course, but it's okay.
Yes, yeah.
Have you gone to the classes on YouTube already?
Yes, sir.
Have you gone to the classes on GST105 on YouTube already, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did. I've done that.
Oh, wonderful. So do you have anything under the scientific method?
Yeah, I have the scientific theories.
Okay, you don't have anything on scientific method where we talk about the observation, we talked about direct and indirect observation, hypothesis formulation, experimentations, and the likes.
Okay, I'm checking. I think I have
Okay,
something like that. Okay, I'm coming.
okay.
Scientific methods.
Find it. Let's hear what you have.
Okay. Oh. I don't think I have it, sir. I only have scientific theories.
Okay, you don't have anything on. Okay, that's fine. Probably you skipped it or something. So the very first one is observation. All right. So when we talk about
Okay.
observation, what do we understand by observation? Don't forget you are conducting a research work, and the method says the very first thing you need to do is to observe. So what can observation mean in the process of scientific method? Can we say something about that very quickly? Okay, starting from Miss Faith.
Okay. Observation involves watching closely, taking close notice of, maybe let's say you're observing a group of people, you're carrying out a research on a group of people. So for you to get
Okay,
your results on them, on the topic that is being researched about, you need to observe them. You can either observe them as a participant, either you join them present, or maybe you can observe from a distance. You stand afar,
thank
or
you
you're
very
just
much for that.
observing them stylishly. So it basically involves watching closely, paying close attention.
Good. That's the keyword. That's the keyword. Let's underline. Pay close attention. Okay, Miss Ruth, what do you have to say on observation, please?
Yeah, like I told you, Mr. Swayo, I this observation is it. I told you that I don't have anything about anything concerning scientific method. And I think the question is
Okay,
under the scientific method. Yeah. So I'm just jotting notes down
okay,
as based on what you just
okay.
said now.
You don't have to necessarily jot notes down. It's okay. You don't have to
Okay.
jot notes down.
Okay.
You just need to let's discuss basically. She does not have anything on the observation too. She does not, because the one she had is just listed. I just want to get your own opinion or your input about observation. All right, but nevertheless, as she has said, one thing in science is that's why some scientists are known as attacked atheists. They believe there's no God. Some of them believe so. Because when it comes to science, there's a statement that goes like this. It says, anything that cannot be observed, all right, that cannot be, it says anything that cannot be observed cannot be investigated by science. Do we get that? Anything that cannot be observed cannot be investigated by science. So that means science is on the foundation of science is laid upon observation. And that's why it is the first step in scientific method, because everything starts from observation, being detailed, emphasized, attention. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
And as we have it here, it could be done directly or indirectly. All right. And when we talk about the direct observation, here we are saying that, just a moment, direct observation, you are being aided with instruments. All right. Direct observation, you are being aided as a scientist or as a researcher carrying out your research. You are being aided with certain instruments. Now, they are made with the aid of the sense or senses, just as how hypothetical students observe the maze with his eyes. Now, what are we saying here? When we talk about direct observation, it's not literally you joining, all right? It's not literally you interfering with what you're observing, but it's about getting the aid as much as you can just to ensure that close detail. All right. While the indirect observation is more of the one performed with, all right, how the aid of instruments. Or let me put it this way: the direct one is more like your aids are not to interfere. All right. Your aids are not to interfere with what you are studying. All right. But the indirect observation is more like a subterfuge, more like a cover up. You are observing something, but it is not made obvious that you are observing that thing. I don't know if you are getting it. Can we all hear me? Are we there? Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I can hear you.
Okay. So, and thereafter, we have the hypothesis formulation, and we also have the experimentation, as well as, okay, I think experimentation is basically the last one. Is that the same thing in your notes, Miss Faith?
No, experimentation is not the
one.
last. The last one is formulation of theory in my notes.
Okay. Now, what is the fourth one in your notes?
The first one is observation.
The fourth.
Okay, fourth, yes, experimentation.
Yes. Then you have.
After experimentation is conclusion.
Okay, and you have.
Formulation of theory.
And that rounds it up.
Yes.
Okay. I think after then, we have theory, right? As a topic itself.
No, there's no theory. Okay.
So what do you have
I've seen what you were asking about. The type of observation,
okay.
Spontaneous and induced. I don't know if that's what you were
I didn't get
asking
that. You
about.
can take that again, please.
I said yes. The scientific methods were discussed. So I've seen types of observation. Under observation, there's spontaneous and passive, and induced or active observation. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
I think it is network.
Okay. Yeah, so yes, scientific theory was discussed as a topic.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Awesome. So you were saying that something was discussed and I didn't get you. Can you say that
Okay,
again,
yes, I
please?
was talking about observation. I said it was classified into. Oh, I think his network. Can you hear me? Your network is freezing.
I can hear you now.
Okay. It was classified into spontaneous or passive and induced or active observation.
Okay.
Yes, and then theory was discussed as a topic. And under types of scientific theory, we have theory of universal gravitation. I don't know if that's what you're asking about.
Yeah, theory is there as a topic on its own.
Yes.
So what do you have on that theory?
Okay. The definition or the types.
Yes.
Okay, so the
What do
types
you
of
understand by
scientific
theory?
theory.
I don't need to read out your notes, but I want to understand what you understand by theory, not read out your notes to me.
Okay. So I understand that theory is just an explanation of something. Is like a reason behind something.
Okay. Wonderful. Yes. Just like you have said correctly. A theory explains how things are being related, how certain phenomenon works. Okay? So now, just like what we have here, the scientific research leads to what we refer to as accumulated facts about nature. All right? So as the facts accumulate, these facts are being organized into what we now refer to as higher knowledge, which becomes imperative. These theories we talk about, they are the ones that help us to understand, you know, you know, the world we live in is filled with amazing things. All right. And if not because of science, a lot of discoveries will not be made. All right. So a lot of things happen and we seem to have no explanation. We seem to have no understanding of how this thing can be explained. But with the help and use of theories, we get a glimpse into understanding how these things work, and we can give a logical understanding to it. This is where theory comes in. All right, it's an explanation about the cause or causes of a broad range of related phenomena, of a broad range of things, phenomena. Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Miss Ruth, are you there? Okay, Miss Ruth is not there. Okay, our time is fast spent already, but before we call it a wrap, let's talk about the law of nature. What do you have about the law of nature?
Uh, okay. Okay. The law of nature. Natural laws are so called because they are. Okay,
First,
law of
you need to
nature.
talk about the law. Like, do you have anything under the law itself, the law of nature, before you talk about
Okay.
the natural law?
Okay, law of nature are general rules that describe the uniformities and regularities in natural phenomena.
Okay.
Yeah, and J.S. Mill defined law of nature as uniformities which exist among natural phenomena, and they help form the foundation of scientific understanding.
Good, good. So what do you understand? After you have read that out from your notes, what do you understand by the law of nature?
Okay, the law of nature are those laws that describe why things exist the way they do, why things are the way they are, something like that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, yes, yes. There are things that happen. Like, do you think it's just normal for you to throw something up and just come down immediately? Do you know there's a place you can be whereby you can throw things up and they will not come down immediately? A lot of
Yes,
things, like I said, we live in a world whereby we are a lot of amazing things, supernatural things that does not really make sense to a logical thinking person happens. All right. But with the law of nature, we begin to get a logical explanation to things, begin to understand how nature itself works. What are the laws, what are the principles? I mean, every existence has a law, every existence has a guide, every existence has a principle. It's everywhere from our government, from the way of life, from our way of life and everything. They are guiding principles to things. Nature itself also have guiding principles, also has its law. And the law of nature here, as we'll be looking into it, will help us to understand certain rules that guide how nature functions, how nature operates. Then we have the law of nature. Now, let's now go to what we have with the material. As Mill has said, that the law of nature is nothing but uniformities. When we talk of uniformities, we are simply talking about a format, a structure, things that works hand in hand. All right, uniformities, certain things that works accordingly. It's more like a call and response. They become or they be call upon each other. It's like energy calling forth energy. This is happening because there are certain rules. When this happens, this is going to happen. When this call, it's a call, we call it, I think that's in GST 101, I think, we did call and effect, cause and effect, I mean, the kind of essay you write. We have the expository kind of essay. We also have the
okay,
cause and
yes,
effect, whereby this happens, then this is what comes after. The law of nature helps to explain better. And what are the examples you have under the law of nature? Do you have anything on
okay,
that?
yes, there's the law of gravitation, law of natural
Seems like it's just
selection.
me and Miss Faith in this class. Although Miss Hannah already told me that she will be listening, she will not see anything. Okay, please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Law of gravitation, law of natural
Are you there?
selection. I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, sir, can you hear me?
I think yes, sir.
Yes, I can. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
All right, all right.
Okay, Miss
Law
Ruth
of
just said our network is
gravitation,
really bad.
law of natural selection,
Yes,
law of causation,
okay,
law of the uniformity of
yes,
nature. Those are the 4 laws that I have as
wonderful.
examples.
Okay, I believe they are not, are they explained?
Yes, they are
Miss Ruth says
explained.
she cannot hear anything. Okay, so we are going to call it wrap here. So just highlight. There's a way you can highlight that in your notes. So we are going to, from our next class, we're going to take it from there. I think our next class is next tomorrow. We're going to
Okay.
take it up from here. That's a
All
detailed
right.
explanation of all this law. So thank you very much, Miss Faith. Which course are you currently on now? Which course are you currently on YouTube?
I'm on CSS 121.
Okay. Okay. How far have you gone on it?
I just started today. I've not had the chance to start during the weekend, so I just started today.
Okay, it's fine. So just try as much as you can to do the needful. We are already publishing the practice questions. We did a 121 practice question today. So for those of us taking that course, I believe by now we must have gone through that practice question already because I posted it in your group, in your private class, and I also distributed it to some. Excuse me. I also distributed it to some class. I distributed it to some groups as well. So please, we want to ensure to go through those questions and you want to practice them. So thank you very much, everyone. I believe you have been able to get something tonight. Do have a wonderful night rest, and I look forward to you all in subsequent class. Bye for now.
All right, bye.